Welcome to a brand new episode of CNB. I'm Siddharth Vinayak Partnkar. It's a lot that we want to get through today because, well, that's the kind of action we are seeing from the automobile industry. So let's get started straight away with a very significant update coming in on the XUV 300 from Mahindra. We spent time with it to bring you the review.
Automatics are the order of the day, more so for the urban user as they provide much needed convenience, and now even the fuel efficiency is at par with the manual in many cars, and the tribe is increasing in almost all car segments.
DCT, CVT, torque converter, AMT. The subcompact SUV segment in our country has all the possible gearbox options you can think of, and up till now, the Mahindra XUV 300 was the only car in the segment, at least when it comes to petrol engines, that did not have an automatic option. Yes, a diesel is there, but now Mahindra has gone ahead and checked that box.
Yes, Mahindra has now launched the XUV 300 petrol with an automated manual transmission or AMT. We've seen this Magneti Marelli gearbox in many cars from Mahindra and has been one of the better performing units as a whole despite the AMT tag. So let's get straight to sampling this latest offering from Mahindra.
So here we go. This one comes with something that's called a tap to switch gear levers. What that means is that just one push and you can do whatever you want. You want to go into manual, automatic, neutral, reverse. It's on all four sides of the lever. So one push and your job is done. So yes, this is a convenient car to drive, and even the gear lever is very convenient to use. Now this is a tap to switch gear lever. If I accidentally put it into reverse from forward, it will not go into reverse unless the speed is lesser than 5 km per hour. Another good handy safety feature on the car.
The 1.2 litre turbo petrol engine churns out a healthy 109 brake horsepower along with 200 Newton meters that is available from 2000 to 3500 RPM. Now we've been a bit spoiled by driving some powerful DCTs in the segment like the Kia Sonet and Hyundai Venue. But think practically and this AMT gearbox makes a lot more sense. A kick down shift feature also helps with a punchy pickup during overtaking or for quick acceleration. And different steering modes also add their bit to the drive experience. There are 3 modes in all: normal, comfort and sport for the steering feel, and that has no weightage to how the engine performs in these modes.
Officially, Mahindra is calling this AMT Auto Shift. It's a 6-speed transmission, and this combination of this gearbox and the 1.2 litre rather powerful turbo petrol engine works well for this car. It's silent as well, much more silent than the diesel of course, and overall it gives you a nice pleasant experience and doesn't disappoint you too much with the performance despite being an AMT.
Mahindra says an adaptive pedal response system chooses the most appropriate shift map from the unique 600 calibration points which are mapped for Indian driving conditions. This is based on accelerator inputs and driving requirements. The AMT also guarantees a much better fuel efficiency when compared to all other types of auto gearboxes. Yes, it's not a driver's delight, but that is not what it intends to do. This one is all about convenience, and the creep function comes in quite handy in stop and go traffic. As a safety measure, it gets disabled if any of the doors remain open. The top variant W8 optional also gets 2 new dual tone colors in red and aquamarine. But the introduction of the petrol AMT and the new colors isn't the only highlight of this car. In fact, the XUV 300 becomes the first car from the brand to get something really important.
What's also new on this XUV 300 is the Mahindra BlueSense Plus app. Now this is a more advanced version of the Mahindra BlueSense app we've seen earlier. And there's a big difference here. This one has actually made this a truly connected car. So earlier you had to be in a close proximity to the car and you would connect through Bluetooth and control some basic functions. Now there's an embedded SIM inside the car, so you can actually be anywhere in the country and track your car. So it gives you alerts, you can do geofencing, you know exactly the location of the car, and you can control the car in lot more ways than you could earlier.
In all, the BlueSense Plus offers more than 40 connected features that include remote vehicle control, location-based features, in-car controls, and safety and security alerts. The interface is quite likable and the app is easy to use. It is available with both Android and iOS.
Now the only visible difference you see inside the cabin of the car is of course the gear lever of the AMT gearbox. Nothing else changes. This car has been around for 2 years now and is one of the more feature-rich cars in the segment. So this is a good opportunity for me to remind you of some of the unique features the XUV300 comes with. And first of that is the direction of your tires. So every time you switch on the ignition, this car tells you which direction your tires are facing, and that's a very handy feature in the tight urban spaces we live in and we park in. The second feature that I like is the seat belt alerts for all the 5 passengers. So even if you're sitting on the second row, for all the 3 passengers, this car will indicate if they're not wearing a seat belt. And finally, you also get dual zone climate control. So yes, this is a feature-rich cabin and some of them are very, very unique and novel.
The sunroof is now available in all but the base variant of the car for both manual and automatic. And how can we ignore the fact that this is the only car in the segment that comes with a 5-star safety rating and gets 7 airbags in the top variant. The XUV300 is now one of the few vehicles in the subcompact SUV segment apart from the Tata Nexon and Kia Sonet that comes with both automatic and manual transmission options with both petrol and diesel engines. The AutoShift is being offered in W6 and W8 optional variants of the car, which are priced at 9,95,000 and 11,77,000 rupees ex-showroom Mumbai. The Nexon, the only other AMT in the segment though, starts at a much lower 8,59,000 rupees ex-showroom. That makes the XUV a premium offering, no doubt, but one that now takes care of your driving hassles in a satisfactory way.
The KTM 390 Adventure is the first KTM adventure bike to be launched in India. Based on the KTM 390 Duke, the 390 Adventure gets all the features of the Duke, like ride-by-wire, full-color TFT screen, and that cracker of an engine. It gets some additional kit to make it adventure ready, like a 19-inch front wheel, 17-inch rear wheel combination, and more suspension travel and 200mm ground clearance. Then there is cornering ABS, which is switchable on the rear wheel, as well as traction control and an up-down quick shifter. With excellent touring capability as well as a very good off-road ability, the 390 Adventure offers a potent package for a two-wheeled adventure, even at the over 3 lakh price tag it commands. Nissan India has been itching to get back into the game, and the Magnite is the one that will be the flag bearer of things to come. It is the company's first subcompact SUV in the country and is based on the CMFA Plus platform. It looks like a Nissan, but with a bit more aggression. The tall hood, muscular lines and the beefy claddings all add to that look. While features like LED projector headlamps, DRLs, dual-tone 16-inch diamond-cut alloys, LED taillights and chrome styling elements add to its premiumness. The Magnite also comes with 2 petrol engine options, a 1-litre naturally aspirated motor and a 1-litre turbo petrol unit. While the former pushes out 71 brake horsepower, the latter is good enough for 99. You get the option of a 5-speed manual and a CVT gearbox too. It's loaded with features as well. an 8-inch floating touchscreen display with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, 7-inch TFT instrument cluster, automatic aircon, electrically adjustable and foldable ORVMs, and more. You of course can watch our review of the Magnite if you want to know more before you cast your vote. The launch of the Meteor 350 marked a new beginning of sorts for Royal Enfield. In addition to being completely new ground up, the motorcycle also had a new feature called the Tripper. The Royal Enfield Tripper feature has two parts to it. The first consists of a small display in addition to the instrument console, which offers you turn-by-turn navigation and is powered by Google Maps. The second part is that you can pair the Meteor 350 motorcycle with the Royal Enfield app via Bluetooth and use the navigation feature. One can also load up to 20 different waypoints on the app, and the same will be reflected on the motorcycle. Thanks to its tie-up with Google Maps and Google Places, the rider has access to all the locations which are listed on Google. The Tripper feature works even when the rider is passing through a no-network area. Once the small Tripper display starts showing up directions, it will also alert the rider as and when a turn approaches and shows the distance to the turn in kilometers and meters. The Tripper may be simple, but it is an easy-to-use navigation device. The Tripper will be made available on more Royal Enfield motorcycles, particularly the Royal Enfield Himalayan, in the near future.
Now remember, when you participate in our Car and Bike Awards process, you could stand the chance to win a brand new scooter, motorcycle, car or gadget. All you have to do is vote. Go to carandbike.com/awards. Time for a short break here on CNB. We come back with a look at the Chetak from Bajaj. Welcome back. Now this vehicle was unveiled a while back, but Bajaj has taken its own sweet time allowing us to get our hands on it because, well, it's still not available all over India. But it's a significant model because it also points to where the company is headed. It's the all-electric Chetak. It revives a very big brand for Bajaj and takes it into a very significant new direction.
Chic, stylish and contemporary. That's what strikes you the moment you lay eyes on the Chetak electric scooter. It's definitely a looker, there's no doubt about that. And it could probably be one of the best looking scooters out there right now. And it's available in two variants. The top spec premium variant gets a front disc brake, metallic colors and slightly different colors on the alloy wheels. Although there are elements and components which are quite original, there is a sense of familiarity in the design.
The Bajaj Chetak name is legendary because it's one of those scooters which accounted for more than 75% of Bajaj Auto sales at one time. But scooters are no more. But now in 2019-2020, we have the new Chetak. It's all electric and it looks absolutely gorgeous. In fact, if you look at it, it does remind you somewhat of the Vespa, particularly the Vespa Electrica that we saw at the Auto Expo last year. But overall, fit and finish, fantastic. It looks like it's very, very well made.
On the move, there's no sound. And it feels easy, almost intuitive in its performance and handling. The low end is not so urgent, but a twist of the throttle will see you keep up with most other traffic. It's only when you're in somewhat of a hurry that the Chetak disappoints, topping off at just 70 km per hour. The suspension is plush and the ride quality is pretty good, even over speed breakers and the occasional pothole.
So for an electric scooter, the first thing that comes to mind is how do you charge it? How much can you run it on a full charge? Well, the Chetak, the new Chetak, you can charge it on a conventional home socket and you can charge it fully in about 4 to 5 hours time, and it will give you about 80 kilometers range. We've been riding it all day. We've still got about 25-30 kilometers left in the range, and overall the ride quality is very nice, very comfortable to ride. You can go over potholes, speed breakers. It's quite comfortable, quite nice. The seat is very comfortable, and it gives about top speed of about 70 kilometers per hour. For small cities, small towns, that's more than enough. But if you live in big cities, you need to travel long distances. Perhaps a little bit more top speed would be more welcome.
The paint quality is superb, and each curve along the Chetak's body speaks volumes about the fit and finish. The LED DRL inside the headlight lends a sense of modernity. The headlight is also LED, and the front apron has a small grille, kind of like an air intake. The tail section with the integrated dynamic turn indicators, like some high-end luxury cars, add a touch of quality. There's decent underseat storage, and the alloy wheel design is nice, with a single-sided swing arm revealing the rear wheel on one side. The LCD screen employs a black and white theme with neatly laid out fonts. It's easy to read and everything is neatly laid out. And yes, the screen does get Bluetooth connectivity. There's a dedicated mobile app which will give you access to some additional handy features. The switches are nice, and overall the Chetak is a well-built, handsome looking scooter.
Now the biggest drawback of the Chetak, at least for now, is that it's available only in Bengaluru and Pune right now. But you also get a charging infrastructure, charging network in those cities right now. But Bajaj says it will be available in 24 cities. So overall, a nice product. Yes, we would have wanted a 80 kilometers per hour top speed, but quite nice, quite likable.
Priced at 1,15,000 rupees for the urban variant, the Chetak offers a comfortable, good-looking scooter which looks more like a conventional unit than a new-age high-tech electric scooter. What's left now is for the Chetak to be available across India, something which is likely to happen in another year. Its design is its biggest strength, coupled with its easy rideability. Both strong points to make the new Chetak a force to reckon with in the new age of electric scooters.
That's it on CNB. You have to react to both these vehicles that we showed you today, the Chetak from Bajaj, a big review that we've been wanting to bring you for a while, and of course the newly updated XUV 300's petrol version with the AMT. Now you have to remember to vote, like I reminded you earlier in the show as well, and for that you have to go to carandbike.com/awards. Please wear your seatbelts, please wear your helmets, and please join me next week.